Hello, and thank you for joining us. It is a great day to be alive. I'm so excited because I have a relationship expert, motivational speaker, Aaron Jordan Jr. is gonna I'm just enlighten you, not only you, but me. Because many times we're asking God, where's my Boaz? Where's my Ruth? But there's some things that we must do in order for God to do what he wants in our lives. So sit back, relax, but more importantly, stay tuned. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's sit down and let's talk about this thing called love. We're back, and I'm so grateful that you're joining us. Listen, I have a question for you. Have you ever asked yourself, why do I keep attracting the same type of man? Or why am I lonely? Why do I miss the man that I, broke up with? Or what is this feeling that's going on? Why do men act the way that they act? And, why do women do the things that they do? I have too. But guess what? We have someone here today who's going to help us with all those questions. He has written this wonderful book that's called The Power Within, A Woman's Worth from Both Sexes. Mr. Aaron Jordan Jr., thank you so very much for joining us.
Nice. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my goodness. This has been a long time coming. And I'm just going to say one word, and I want you just to expound.
Okay.
Why? That's the question that we always ask. Why? Why do men do this? Why do women overreact? Why are women clingy? I mean, why? Answer that question for me.
Well, I think, well, as I stated in the book, the why is not meant to be understood but yet observed. So once you observe the why factor in your situation, you start to draw factual conclusions. That's the whole observation of evaluation method. And I think that's the period that people miss in relationships and dating, because they want the answers right now. It's like that whole instant gratification period, instead of just sitting there observing your demeanor, your actions, your thoughts, your body language to draw out those factual conclusions. They just dig in deep and just go head first without thinking right on the situation.
Wow. How did this book derive? Because, it says a woman's worth, know your value, but then you say both sexes. Is this personal? Is it something you had to encounter yourself before you could birth it out?
Well, just like everyone else, you go through trials and tribulations. I went through 5 years ago, I was in one of the darkest periods of my life. I was going through so much things mentally, spiritually, financially, and emotionally. And me, I'm very transparent with my story. I'm not ashamed of my story. It took me some time to actually get to the point of actually being able to translate my story too as well. And the thing is, I've been engaged 3 times before I got married. I was actually at that point of at my lowest. I mean, I've been a womanizer, I've been a dictator, I've been controlling. I mean, the only thing that I was doing in that time period, I was transfusing pain onto someone else to cope with my pain.
Wow.
You
were what most women run away from, a womanizer. What?
Yeah.
Excuse me, and a dictator, you're not going to tell me what to do and how to do it. Are you serious?
Yes.
So what transpired? What happened to, that really, did someone break your heart to rock your world as far as to let you know that, hello? What happened?
What happened is, it's true what they say, karma comes back full circle. And the thing is that everything that I've dished out, I received.
Wow.
And I received it 10 times greater than I dished out. And the thing is that in relationships, I've experienced some of the deepest hurts.
So men do hurt.
Oh my God.
There are women who feel like men don't hurt. So you're saying today that men do hurt.
Of course. We just try to mask it. And because we're always taught that, okay, we shouldn't have to show our emotions. We shouldn't have to reveal our pain, keep it on the inside. But the thing is, when you keep it on the inside, it just, all that emotion, all that baggage builds up. And the thing is, I tell people that both men and women are not far from the same when wanting a relationship because we want the same thing, which is happiness.
Happiness.
But we go about doing and wanting to receive it differently. See, the thing is, when it takes a man one time to get that heart broken, and the thing is, we hold on to that void.
Oh my.
And all we're doing is transfusing pain, and that's how we release our emotions.
Wow.
And when you hear the fact of saying that men can have this partner, that partner, and this partner, and that partner without even thinking about it, that's us releasing that pain
Wow.
onto another person to try to get rid of that baggage, which is very detrimental to.
So what happened that you were able to release your pain to be free, that you've written this book to help us? Because I want to get into the dating part, you know.
Okay.
What are we looking for as a woman? What are men looking for? You know, but how did you release that pain where you stopped being a womanizer and a dictator and all of that foolishness, you know?
As I stated, karma has a way of resurfing itself
Yeah, I've
and
heard
bringing
people say
you
that.
full surface. And the thing is, when I got to the point where I was ready to receive love and everything like that, it's that everything that I've done to women and dictating, I pushed myself further away from my God's gift by those actions. So I had to endure pain. I had to endure the same hurt that I inflicted
Wow.
on women.
Wow.
That same dictatorship that I inflicted on women. So the thing is that when I was in the mindset and ready, I got with this particular person, engaged and everything, but it was very detrimental. Everything that I've done, I got it back.
Wow.
And it changed my whole mindset. And I had to go through a period of a storm where I got to my lowest. I've almost committed suicide twice. And the thing about love, I mean, it's so powerful that it can actually take your mind to a place where you don't even think your mind can actually go.
Yeah.
Me personally, I never thought that I would actually be sitting in the bathroom about to overdose on hydrocodone. I never thought that. I never thought that my mind could actually go there.
Because you
but
were
it
so
did.
in love with this person.
Exactly, because I was actually in the mindset. See, the thing is, when you're in the mindset of wanting to give a person your all, and it's not being reciprocated,
Yeah.
it does something to you mentally. That's if you're putting it all there. So I had to go through this transition of, I had to cleanse myself. I did that for two and a half years.
Okay, when you say cleanse yourself, you know, for some viewers that are
Okay.
watching, because they're like, I'm in this stage right now. I love him or I love her, but you know what? She's pushing far away from me. He's
Okay.
pulling far away from me. And I realize that I have to let him or her go. What do I need to do to cleanse myself?
I have this in chapter 1 of my book. It's called, well, I have this analogy. It's called fourth quarter love, and it's a step in there called getting over your past hurts.
Okay.
And with that's a very hard process. But the thing you have to do is you have to face it. You have to face your problems, face your issues, because the thing I tell people that in order to move past, you have to get to you have to deal with your life's greatest project,
Wow.
which is yourself. You have to deal with your deep core issues, because you can't move on to a relationship and love that person effectively without dealing with some things that you had to do with yourself. So I came face to face with that man in the mirror. I came face to face with the dictator. I came face to face with the controlling man, the cheater, the womanizer, and it basically stripped me right there.
Wow. Wow. So now you were prepared to actually love someone.
Exactly.
Wow. That's
And I actually
amazing.
got back to the point, I tell people, get to the point of making love to yourself first. Because once you can fully make love to yourself first, not literally,
Yeah.
but get to the point of actually loving yourself, because that would exude from you, and then that would put somebody in the other frame of loving you too as well.
But what I see, and I think it's chapter 2 in your book,
Okay.
a lot of times in relationships, we go from one dead-end relationship to another. For women, I think we call it the Superman syndrome.
Okay.
He says and does everything that we feel like this is the right one, but you're really vulnerable.
Exactly.
And I think in the book you call it rebounding.
Rebounding, yeah.
You know, can you discuss a little bit
Well, with
more in
that,
regards to rebounding?
In my book, I really hone in on this part dealing with women, because I say that an ability that men have is that I think women don't pick up on is we can tell when you're vulnerable.
Yeah.
Just by conversation.
How someone that's listening say, okay, I'm not vulnerable. Share with us, how do you know that we're vulnerable?
Because of straight conversation, your body language, just that one statement right there proves it. Because of the simple fact, we can say, okay, we can choose to cultivate, minister to you, encourage you, or we choose to act on it. Most men choose to act on it and get what they can get out of it. And that's the whole part of the transfusing of pain, because that's an avenue for us to release our pain by taking advantage of your vulnerability.
Wow.
So when two people that have pain and is vulnerable get together, it's very detrimental. Only one person can have that instant gratification. Well, two people can have that instant gratification for the moment, but psychologically, you're pushing yourself further and further away from your God's gift if you're truly interested and ready to find love and your God's gift.
Wow. So many times you think you're in love, but you're just rebounding. You're just that self-gratification for the moment. So what is a 30 minutes love that you talk about?
30-minute love is the whole microwave effect.
Oh,
and I use that analogy because we, as both men and women, we like things instant. Just like I use the analogy of saying, just like we put our food in a microwave for like 30 minutes to a minute, or 30 seconds to a minute or whatever, come out as piping hot, we're ready to eat. That's how we like our relationships, because once one person is not fulfilling what we need, it's like, okay, we're going to dump that one and go to the next. But the thing that you got to understand is that you just got through dealing with a personality. Instead of, and when you're not releasing from that personality that you're dealing with, now you're getting with another person. Now you have two personalities that you're dealing with. So now it's like you're dealing with two spirits, and it's adding baggage on top of baggage on top of baggage. And now you think you're a schizophrenic because you're dealing with so many things. And so that way, that's how you cannot have a successful relationship, because when you get into a relationship and your God's gift can be right there in front of you, and all of a sudden you have triggers. Now you're placing your past onto this person here, because what that person did, now you're looking at him like, okay, is he going to do the same thing? Is she's going to do the same thing? See, that's crazy.
And you have a quote that I believe I read, and it said something similar to your last heartbreak will actually dictate how you see other relationships. You know, when I read that, I went, that's powerful. Most of the times you'll think that it's like a male-female relationship, but it even goes even deeper of how your father was, if he was present in your life. Or if you were raped, or if you were molested, you know, that one relationship encounter can dictate how you see, especially for women, how we see and perceive men, and men as well. Also, yeah, it really does, because I stated that because if you go back and look at like that first date you had when you was a teenager, and you loved them, or with your dad or whoever is in your life, that's that male figure or womanly figure or whoever, you had that first encounter of love with the opposite sex, with that woman, or you go on your first date, and so things are going good and you experience that first heartbreak. So now that heartbreak, you're never going to forget it. I never forgot my first heartbreak. And I don't know really pretty much anyone that didn't forget their first heartbreak. So because you didn't forget that and release that negative energy from you internally, it has subconsciously set the tone for what you attract. Because have you ever been in a situation like, okay, you remind me of Absolutely.
You remind me of Robert.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's the thing. Because you have not released that energy, you attract, your mind, your thoughts attract what you think about the most. So if you think about that heartbreak, you're going to attract what just broke your heart.
Oh, my goodness. That's devastating. Ladies, did you all just hear that? Oh, my goodness. So the key is releasing actually that person from your life.
Exactly.
Which means that you have to detox. And I just want to give some, you know, just some simple, natural principles of things that you have to do. You have to get rid of the pictures. Unfriend him on Facebook.
Get rid of him.
Delete his number out of your phone. Clothing, jewelry, everything that he purchased. Because it's a subconscious thing, and you know your subconscious mind is a powerful thing, because whatever manifests in your subconscious mind is going to produce forth through your conscious. Absolutely. And the thing is, I hone in on mindset, because whatever you dominate your thoughts on the most, that's what you're going to attract. So the thing is, if it takes you, if you really want to release that negative energy and get rid of him or her out your life, get rid of the pictures, get rid of anything that's around you that's going to remind you of that person.
or whatever, if it takes 6 months to a year for you to do it,
Yeah.
release it. But the thing that's going to happen is, as time goes on, you're going to be brought back face to face with that test
Oh, wow.
of that person.
Wow.
Because what I've learned is that when that the universe tests you, which is God, He tests you because you say that you're over this person. So you're in another relationship right now. Everything is going awesome. Everything is going
that
good.
is awesome.
You're walking through the mall. Hey, how you doing?
Haven't seen him in forever.
Haven't seen him, but all of a sudden, right next to Macy's, you see him.
Oh, wow.
Or her. And then all of a sudden, they looking good too.
Oh, wow.
But that's your test to see, like, where is your mindset now? Because you remember where psychologically, spiritually, and emotionally that relationship had you.
Yeah.
So are you truly over this person, or are you using this other person to mask your feelings?
Oh, that's powerful right
Yeah.
there. It's time to look in the mirror, to test the waters and see, okay, are you really being true to yourself? Are you really free, or are you just, like you say, wearing that mask, just hoping and praying that he or she will come back into your life? A man is supposed to conquer. You know, I believe, according to biblical principles, that it's not our job as a woman to go out and find, you know, your husband or find your man. Help us, because it's like the culture that we live in. Women are like, you know, they see it, they want it, they go get it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, honey, sit back and relax. You
Yeah.
know, glean in the fields like Ruth did, and he will find you.
He will find
He will find you. But it's like nowadays the roles are they're reversed. They're reversed. So
is.
help us in regards to that.
Well, I think one of the biggest things is the media is now in a position where it controls our thoughts, our actions, our reactions. And the thing is what you see on the television, that goes through your eye gates and goes through your subconscious, and that controls your thinking. So if you see a new conformed way of being, just like with the media, I tell men, I said we cannot conform to what the media say we are. We're not deadbeats.
Yeah.
We're not less of a man. I mean, we're not skating around our responsibilities. Women, sit there. Be prepared. You have to put yourself in position to receive your God's gift. And that's whoever God has for you in your life. See, 9 times out of 10, your God's gift is right there in your face. But you have blinders on.
Wow.
You're distracted by other things. And because you're distracted, He's just right there in your face, scrolling and saying, hey, I'm here. I'm here. But you don't see Him. But the thing is, it's not what your God's gift can 9 times out of 10 not be what you have set for yourself to be.
Absolutely.
For you want.
So do you believe opposites attract?
Oh yeah.
You know, as women, we have a list. I want him
I
to
had
be
a
this.
list.
You had a list too?
I had a list too.
I have a list now.
Yeah. My wife is totally opposite from my
Oh
list.
God, that's scary.
But the thing is that the opposites attract, and we balance each other. You know, and the thing is that God is not going to. He knows our heart. He knows what you want. He knows what's going to actually benefit you. But see, the thing is, what we think that benefits ourselves can actually be detrimental to ourselves, our mindset, our growth, too, as well. What we think is that's going to benefit us can actually set us 10 years back.
Wow.
But we don't, because we don't understand how the dating order goes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Many times, like I said, as women, you know, we're saying, God, send me my Boaz. You know, I want a man who's 6'5". He's 220 pounds. You know, he's financially stable.
But what did you just say right there, though?
That I want.
Exactly.
But you know what I share with them is, make sure that you have something to offer as well.
Okay.
If you want him to have a certain type of car, make sure that you have. Don't just wait for him to come purchase it for you.
Exactly.
You know, make sure that you are financially so that you can add to his life. I think we sometimes get it twisted, and you can expound on this. As women, many times we're saying, I need a man to complete me. When God is saying, you just need an addition. You know, because we came out the rib.
Exactly.
You know, I look at it this way. That's some man that's seeking for me because my rib belongs to him. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So we have to prepare ourselves in all those areas, but we have to make sure, like we said in the previous segment, we release all that extra baggage.
Exactly.
But I don't expect him to be here if I'm down here.
Exactly.
We have to be here together.
Equally yoked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you're lay something heavy on you. The thing is that you brought up a great analogy. See, the man is the rib cage, the woman is the rib. So through life, we go through all these go through all these glits and rough spots or whatever. So on that rib, you have some scruff, some little piece of fat meat and all that stuff. But the thing is that I find people, what women do, and men too, they devalue their rib to actually appease a rib cage.
Oh, wow.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
See, the thing is, it's like a puzzle. You try to force a piece in there, and it don't fit. Next thing you know, you take that piece out, and it's all dented and bent up and everything like that. So when you come and find your the matching piece or your rib cage, now you have dents and bings and bangs and everything like that. So you're actually going into a situation bruised, hurt, and everything. So now you're taking all of that bruise, that hurt, and all of that baggage, and trying to fit it into your God's gift, which is that perfectly designed rib cage. It may not be what you wanted. He may be financially set, but he might be 5'8". He may be 6'5" and working at FedEx. But the thing is, that's perfectly designed for you. I tell men that all the time. I mean, I really hone in on men in chapter 4 of my book. It's called Role of a Man. And I tell men, I said, we have to get back into our position, understanding what our assignment is. Because the way the media had placed this stereotype on men is we think that this is what we have to conform to being, which is not the case. We are predestined with greatness, which will lead to being iconic. We have to get back to the point of understanding our purpose, our assignment, what we were called to do. We are here to protect, provide, and cultivate our families, our spouses, or our women, or what have you. We're supposed to lead. How can a woman be submissive to a man if his leadership is not intact?
And I feel like he has to have a vision which only comes from God.
Exactly.
And I want to say this, to all the women that are watching me right now, you have an expectation, and I can say that because I'm single. It's something that's a different world for me after being married, of course, for 15 years. At first I was like, oh my God, this is not a season that I want to be in. But, God knows what's best. But at the same time, you have to keep yourself before God praying, fasting, and making sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, preparing yourself, working the fields, so that when he recognizes you, he won't just see the outer, the beauty, the shape, the Coca-Cola shape or whatever it is. Because to me, it's more than sex. A man is looking for somebody how can you help me to advance my vision? What do you bring to the table? So I'm going to ask this question. What do you bring to the table?
Exactly. That's
what
awesome.
do you bring to the table? So is it more for men than just sex? Of course, they say that men think about sex every so many seconds of the day, but is it more, in addition to that, what are men looking for in women?
I mean, when you get, like I said, dating and relationship is a whole mindset thing. I mean, and at the end of the day, that's going to wear out. When you get to a certain age, you're going to be like, okay, well, I'm tired. Okay, can we just sit here and watch TV? Can we have a glass of tea and sit on the porch or something? The thing is, you have to get with someone that adds value to your life.
That's awesome.
And not drain life from you. Add life to you. Because at the end of the day, if you can go and have sex 3-4 times a day, but the thing is, that's draining. Because when you get done, you're tired. You got to go to work the next morning. You got to go to a business meeting or whatever. But the thing is, you have to get with someone that actually adds value. Not devalue, but add value to you.
Wow, someone that encourages you.
Exactly.
Even in your weakest points,
the lowest
in life,
points.
They lift you up.
Lift you up. Baby, it's going to be okay. Sweetheart, you want me to rub your feet? It's going to be fine. All right? That's it.
So it's not okay for a man to hit or browbeat a woman?
No, I have no respect for a man that hits a woman.
Okay. So even, there are women that are watching right now and say, well, I know he loves me. He provides financially. He brings home the paycheck. But yet and still, no quality time is being spent. She's 3-4 o'clock in the morning going through his cell phone, no trust. Those are times and opportunity, I believe, where you have to evaluate the relationship that you're in. Is it worth it?
Yeah, I think most times women in that situation, because men are in that situation too, so it goes both ways. And I think that we sacrifice our self-worth just for a lifestyle. Okay, so if me being broke, or if me staying in a 1-bedroom apartment and driving a Toyota, 1995 Toyota Sentra or whatever, means that I can have my happiness and my sanity, and I can regain my worth,
absolutely,
I would do that. Opposed to taking these hits, taking these spiritual abuse or verbal abuse or whatever, living in a 4,000 square foot home or whatever, driving whatever.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, we get caught up in the lifestyle and think that we have to take stuff. The thing is, we don't have to take anything. God didn't put you on this earth to actually take verbal abuse.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Absolutely, absolutely. But many times we'll say, well, you know, women, we sometimes have to take things. No, I don't believe that a man should abuse a woman. At the end of the day, when you wake up, do you have the peace of God?
Exactly.
That's what I look at. You don't have to stress. You don't have to worry. You don't have to look over your shoulder. Somebody's going to kill you, knock you upside the head. Do you have the peace of God? And I can just hear women right now that saying, I'm in that predicament. I don't know what to do. Help me. And it gets to the point where you have to know your worth. Whatever you compromise to keep, you will eventually lose.
Exactly.
You know, so if you lose your self-worth trying to make sure that this man has this, you're going to lose him.
Exactly.
Because you've lost yourself. And
it's a quote I share. I say, I really hit home with women on this. I say, your worth is undeniable. Your value is priceless. See, the thing is, men, we need you. We can't survive without you.
You can't reproduce without us?
We can't do anything. So the thing you have to ask yourself is that, if this man hits me, if this man verbally abused me, is that love?
Yeah.
Is that love? I mean, what type of love is that? Is he expressing love? No, he's not. Because the thing is, I need you.
Yeah.
I need you to actually sustain. You are the backbone of a man. Women are.
Wow.
Because we need that support from a woman in order to press forward. And I think a lot of people have to grasp that concept in order to fully understand the predicaments and the roles and things like that, and saying that men, we cannot function without women.
Yeah.
Because it's just something about if you're really in tune with your God's gift, it's just something about, for a man, about a touch of a woman. Just say if we're having a stressful day, the woman can come rub your back, and all of a sudden everything is gone.
Rub your head.
Rub your head.
Yeah.
Just say something to you, and then all of a sudden you're ready to go back out into the world.
Rub your feet. You know, and some women are like, I would never do that. Honey, it's called love. But you know what I understand? A man can never fully love you as a woman the way that we desire until he has had what I call an intimate relationship with God. He can't love you until he has the love of God.
Exactly.
Until he knows how the Father loves him, he can't love you. And that's where many women get in trouble, because they have this expectation, you know, of he's supposed to do this. If he was a man, but if he's never experienced it,
he don't know.
How can he share it?
Yeah, and that's the thing I tell men, that you have to get back to your connecting source in order to fully be sustainable or be able to be lead. Because the order of relationship is God, man, and the woman. See, right there, the middle piece. The man has to be connected to his source, which is God, in order to lead, in order to give direction, not being a dictator, not being controlling, but your leadership has to exude from you in order to fully sustain and fully lead your family.
Wow. Now, I have to really touch really quickly, because I know time is moving fast, but there's a chapter in this book that says, why do men and women cheat? And I know every woman across America wants to know that. It was like, that's just something that men do. We have to deal with it. Look at my face. No. You don't have to tolerate it.
Yeah.
When you know your worth, when you know your value, there are certain things as a woman that you will not tolerate, you know. And as I think R. Kelly says it best, when a woman's fed up, there's nothing you can do about it.
I think with that is, I speak from a very unbiased standpoint on that, because I hear a lot saying like, why do men cheat, or why are all men dogs, or whatever, but why do men and women cheat? See, the thing is, people got to look at it from a deeper perspective. Okay. Just like I stated, the order of relationships. I think
No, I was saying you have 1 minute to tell me why do men and women cheat.
Oh, it's going to be quick. And because the order of relationships is out of whack, and I said that the media has stagnated us as men. So we're disconnected from that source that actually gives us understanding and direction. So how can a woman fully lead? A woman can be with you, and she will want the best for you. Yeah. But if you're not connected, and she's going to be forever missing something. So she's going to be missing something, and as time leads on, she's going to actually go and try to find it.
Yeah, she's going to exit.
Yeah,
and vice versa with the man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you guys, you love with your emotions, and once you leave us emotionally, It's very hard to get that back.
It is. I'm
Very
so happy
hard.
that you said that. I love it. Aaron, we're going to have to do part 2 really
Oh, yeah.
quickly. So this has been, I tell you, an eye-opener not only for my viewers but for me as well, because like I said, I'm in a different arena now.
Okay.
And I tell you one thing, God will keep you if you want to be kept. That's the
Awesome.
best way I can say that.
Exactly.
Well, best wishes to you.
you.
Godspeed, blessings be upon you. You all, I'm telling you, you can connect with him most definitely. The power within a woman's worth from both sexes. You have to know your worth. When you know who you are and know whose you are, there's just something you won't tolerate. But again, if you accept it, it will continue. When enough is enough, you'll know, because you begin to do some extraordinary things, some things that you didn't think that you do. I'm a living witness. I love you. God bless you, and we'll see you next time. Until then, be blessed, and remember, no weapon formed against you shall prosper.